learn how to eat healthy again, because I believe in eating healthy and I believe eating raw. So I've been in a situation where, you know, not only have I had to sort of swallow the fact that, you know, I'm doing something completely different than even what my morals tell me to be doing. You know, it's not only have I been vegetarian for all these years, but I've been a practicing Buddhist for 15 years, and I don't believe in the killing of animals. And you know, I'm not a hardcore, you know, animal rights activist or anything like that, but, you know, I don't like to hurt anything. And, you know, these were a lot of issues, a lot of things that I've had to work through with myself, but at the same time, my health, it is number one. And I have to say that I've been feeling much better. I've been eating animal foods for a few weeks now, since pretty much around Christmas, right before the new year, I started. And with that, I've been eating like raw fruits and vegetables with that, and trying to eat as much vegetables as possible, really, to balance out the meats. And, well, not even meat so much as I'm having more fish, because I'm still, I don't know, I haven't gone near beef or anything. I'm just too scared of it. And, I mean, I haven't had a steak in my life, so to jump into that would be just too hardcore. But since I am in Asia and I'm able to get local fish, then that's something mostly I've been having, or seafood and eggs. And I have to say, I've seen a huge difference in my health, and especially just building up my nervous system, because that's where I've been having the most issues. It's been with my brain, my mind. It's like when you have issues with your nervous system, you know, those things start falling apart. And I've just noticed that my, you know, anything from my ability to concentrate, my mood, everything is starting to balance out. And the main thing, I don't know how to explain this, and I think only someone that has ever had a problem with their nervous system is that I don't feel short-circuited anymore. Which, it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like when you feel short-circuited, it's almost like, let's say you're driving, every few minutes you've got to stop and sort of regroup yourself and regroup what you're doing and where you are. And when my B12 levels have been going up and eating the animal products, suddenly I'm able just to, it's like drive straight, you know, and I'm able to sort of adjust everything around me. And I'm like long-circuited, not short. So it's been an interesting change, and it's been a really good change, and it's good to feel like I'm getting my life back, I'm getting healthy again. And I want to come, you know, and tell you guys this, because it is about our health first, you know, and that doesn't mean raw foods are bad, okay? That's the first thing I want to just like say, is that, you know, I wouldn't have been doing raw foods for, I mean, so many years, 100% raw, like hardcore raw, you know, and I would not have been doing that if I wasn't getting the benefits from it and seeing, I mean, just everything change from it. And it breaks my heart having to like go and eat like cooked animals, but it's something I had to do. And at the same time, I see the benefit of both worlds, and able to find a healthy balance. And a lot of times too, I believe, like, you know, the diet I came from before I was on a raw food diet, I mean, I was addicted to sugar, I was addicted to coffee, I was addicted to cigarettes, I was, you know, I was just so up and down and crazy. But going from that extreme to going the extreme of raw foods, I'm now able to find a healthy and happy medium, and trying to get as much raw foods into my diet as possible, really working up to getting 80% raw, and then the rest being a little bit of animal foods with those raw vegetables and greens. So that's what I've been working on, eating like a crazy amount of salads and throwing some animal stuff on it with it. And I have to say, at first I was terrified. I thought I was going to be sick. I mean, picture, 23 years, no animal meat. And funny enough, I didn't get very sick. I have noticed though that, you know, I haven't gotten sick. I haven't had much change at all, you know, because I've been eating healthy. I haven't been like going to McDonald's and getting like a Big Mac. I've been like being really like, you know, hyper strict with eating good healthy food, that, you know, there's been no major physical reaction. In the beginning, I did have maybe a bit of stomach upset, and, you know, but I just knew that was something that, you know, building up more sort of digestive fire to be able to break down some of these foods, that I had to be patient. and that seems to have been able to balance out. And one other thing I did notice was that I was getting breakouts, and I was getting, you know, kind of nervous, like, oh no, the acne's going to come back. And but then I did some experiments with, you know, making sure that the animal meats, things like that, well, pretty much the fish and seafood, that they're not cooked in oils, but rather that either they're grilled or they're steamed, and that has made a huge difference. So I'm just, you know, it's like keeping with being super healthy, but having to bring these new foods into my diet and into my life, and it's all right. So I wanted to share that with you because, you know, we all have to put our health first. And, you know, I haven't changed as a person. I'm still me. I still love the universe, but at the same time, I've had to learn, you know, that sometimes I need to be flexible as well. You know, I'm not strict with my coaching clients, and, you know, I have to follow my own advice, you know, and that was one thing that, you know, there's two things that I thought about when I finally decided to make these changes. And the first thing was before I did the change, I talked to another raw food educator, and this raw food educator is well known, and he's, you know, hardcore, like, you know, not into supplements and not into superfoods, none of that. And, you know, unless like you need like vitamin B12 supplement, he would definitely promote that, or even a D supplement. But other than that, you know, very much into like natural hygiene. And he had said to me, well, you know, Natasha, if you're not absorbing the vitamin B12 from the supplements, who's to say you're going to be absorbing it from the food? And that's when things sort of changed for me, because if it was any other vitamin, like let's say it was vitamin C, and I had said to him, oh, you know, I don't think I'm getting the vitamin C from the supplement, maybe I should try eating, you know, such and such food, he would automatically turn around and say, no, get it from the food, not from the supplement. But because B12 is from animal products and animal meats, he's saying get it from the supplement, don't even bother with the food. And that's when I was just kind of like, I had the worst taste in my mouth. And I was just like, you know what, I'm not part of the dogma thing. I'm not. My health comes first. And, you know, I like for myself and people that I counsel to get their nutrition from the food, because that usually is the case where it's most absorbable. There are cases where when people have celiac or other digestive issues, that if they're not on a program where they're eating the foods that are supporting their digestive health, they will not be absorbing it from the B12. And yes, that is true. But the thing is that I'd rather try with the food before I try with the supplements. You know, and it's the same thing with the vitamin D3. Why am I living in tropical paradise? Because I don't want to be taking the supplements. I'd rather get it from the sun, you know, and that's me, you know. So, and I just realized that I'd be going against my own views, my own values, my own morals with things. So that was one thing. And then I guess the other thing that sort of pushed me over to getting the B12 from my food was the fact that I had a really good conversation with a yoga instructor while I was in Ubud, and she made a really, really great point to me, and she had said, do you want to be on these injections for the rest of your life? Kind of like a diabetic is on insulin. You know, and someone that's got like type 2 diabetes, they're given a choice. They can either, you know, take the insulin, or they can change their diet and slowly decrease the insulin, where eventually they can get off of it completely. And it's the same thing with me. Do I want to take the injections, or do I want to get it from the food and change my diet and my lifestyle? You know, and it became very obvious to me that, you know, if I was a diabetic and I had the choice to change my diet or to stay on injections, change the diet instantly. So why am I holding back with changing my diet for this vitamin B12? So that's where I'm at with this, and I want to share it with you, and yeah, and nothing changes, you guys. I'm like, you know, I love raw foods, and I believe in it, and especially maybe short term, you know, like someone wants to do raw foods for a week, a month, a year, a few years, it's fine, you know, get onto the supplements and take the B12, or do it for a cleanse, you know. But if someone's doing it long term over a few years, then they have to decide for themselves. If they want to stay on, you know, a raw vegan diet 100%, then take the supplements and make sure you get tested as well every single year to make sure that those B12 levels don't drop. If they do drop, you're going to get permanent nervous system damage, and you don't want that. Okay, so that's what I have to say, and we continue as is. So I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.